Hello parents, Mr. Giomini. I wanted to make a video for you to explain some of the new thing that I'm implementing in the classroom that maybe you've seen some of your children doing at home. I know sometimes they do it during advisory. My goal is to possibly get them doing it at the end of the class period. I call it the levels of understanding. Now, this is a little bit new because we're used to seeing an A, B, C, D, maybe an F, an E on an assessment or an assignment. This actually removes the grades and assigns a numerical value. And it's actually not necessarily the teacher assigning a grade, it's actually the student doing some self-reflection and assigning a score rather than a grade, a score to themselves. Now, I've kind of talked to the kids about it, and I want to talk to you about it as well. So you'll see there's 4 levels, a level 4, 3, 2, and 1. And the way I've talked about it to the kids is a level 4, that's the level that shows that you're actually understanding the material really well in class, in that you're able to take this skill and take it to the next level of something that I'm not necessarily presenting in class. Now, I may show a problem like that in class and model and walk through it, but it's not going to be a question that we assess necessarily in 6th grade. It'll be something that the students will be assessed on later in other years. So it kind of provides almost like a pathway or some linkage to what they'll be seeing in 7th, 8th, maybe even 9th grade. So like a level 4, again, is a question above 6th grade level. And the goal is to create that linkage so that I'm providing students with a goal maybe, or the kind of vision to see, well, I'm going to possibly be doing this in years to come. So it kind of allows them to see maybe into the future of what they'll be doing in mathematics. Now, level 3, if we want to think about a grade for level 3, to me a level 3 is like a grade A, B plus, something like that. A level 4, obviously, that'd be you earning extra credit. But a level 3, that's what's grade level appropriate. That's what's expected for all teachers and for all students to have learned, to have practiced, to have applied, and to have mastered at the conclusion of a chapter, of a unit, of 6th grade. And you'll see questions that I put, and I'll kind of show you what kind of Google form I'm using for the students. These are the types of questions that students will see on quizzes and assessments. So if they're doing well with these level 3 questions, that should translate into positive returns on the post-test. Then there's level 2, and I talk to the kids, if you're doing a level 2, you're really at about a C, C minus, even a D plus, if you want to kind of equate it to a grade level of understanding. And that's just you're understanding the very basics. And what I mean by the very basics, I kind of give an example here. Identify what the H stands for in the formula A equals B times H. So they may see the formula and they may not know what A stands for, B, but maybe they can identify, oh, H, that's the height. And then maybe once they do that, say, oh, okay, I'm doing height. What do I use height for? Timesing it. Okay, now I'll do the base. Oh, that's area. So they maybe know the formula. They can't apply it. So if I gave them a rectangle, they couldn't use that formula then to find the area of a rectangle. And then sometimes at level 2, a model is needed to ensure success. So maybe they're going to do well if they have a model presented to them that they have in front of them, and then they can go that next step and maybe go to a level 3. But they need that model with them, not at all times, but initially, to kind of build them up to that level 3. So the level 2 is a very basic understanding. You're not going to get a B or an A on an assessment if you're consistently at a level 2. We look at a level 1, there's really no understanding of the concept or skill. So from the time it's been presented in class to the end of class, there's still confusion. I kind of think about a level 1 is when I'm talking in class, we're doing things, it's almost like the student sitting there saying, what language is he speaking? And then, again, kind of the example, use the formula A equals B times H. If I present that to the class, we talk about it, and then at the conclusion of class, the student can still not identify what the A is, what the B is, what the H is. They know multiplication, but that's it. And again, this skill is not going to be able to be comprehended until new scaffolding, or we kind of go backwards. And what I mean by backwards, we're going to go to 5th or 4th grade skills to kind of build up to what is expected now in the 6th grade. And that's a level 1. And a level 1, if you're consistently at a level 1 throughout the entire chapter, you're more than likely you are not going to pass the assessment. Now, to kind of take a look where you're going to see this on the blog. So if I go to the blog, hopefully most of us are familiar with the setup. I've been putting the learning targets right here. So learning targets, 2nd period learning targets. And I'm breaking them down by lesson. And each lesson's here for the entire chapter. Now, typically what I do is when we start the chapter, I'll have just that first lesson. And then as the chapter begins to develop, I continue to add lessons. I will not put the lessons for the entire chapter up on the blog if we're only on the first lesson. So it continues to build. Now, if I take a look, let's say at let's go lesson 6.4. So here's lesson 6.4. I will increase the font size here. Lesson 6.4, and again, all of them are laid out in very similar fashion. It'll tell you the title of that lesson. It automatically collects the student's AL student account login, so I know when the student's done it. It actually shows me a timestamp of what time they did it. And then I actually say, hey, I feel I am at a level 4 of understanding. So the student, again, for you to be at this level, you should be able to answer the following question correctly with no help from a peer or adult. I want the students to do this independently. And so this is what the level 4 question would look like. Now the student, if they feel they're level 4, they click yes. Now it's nice to just be able to click yes, but now the real nice bridge to this is you have to provide evidence of that. And providing evidence means you're giving you the right answer. And then it's laid out in similar fashion for level 3. You read the question. Oh, yes, I'm at that level. I can now click the answer. Oh, I'm at a level 2, et cetera, et cetera. Now, what we talk about in class is you can start at the very basic. Why not start at level 1 and answer all the way up to level 3? So you can actually answer 3 questions. So not only getting the very base level understanding, you're actually kind of then reviewing, okay, I need this to build up to a level 2. I need the level 2 to build up to a level 3. And I need a level 3 to build up a level 4. So when kids are doing this Google form at home, maybe encourage them to start at the level 1. And maybe if they're struggling with this, the level 1 kind of triggers something, said, hey, I understood that. I'm going to go on to level 2 now. So you can answer multiple levels. It's not like you just have to pigeonhole yourself to one. Now, I want to kind of show you what this looks like for me. So this is what I show the students. And then once they submit answers, this is what I will see as far as a spreadsheet goes. So this is this is not a reflection of the one I just showed you. This is a reflection of lesson 6.1. You can see here, this student here actually answered all 4 levels, which is great. And they only missed the 1. It looks like they forgot to maybe add the 0. But they actually understood the level 4 question for that skill, which is outstanding. They're actually above where they need to be right now, which I love. You will see a majority of this lesson was at a level 2 of understanding. First lesson of the chapter, we're converting fractions to decimals, percents. Most of us are at a level 2, or the kids that participated in it. We do see a couple at level 1. Now, again, if this is my level 1 understanding, we're not going to do well on the post test. I'm thinking this first time around that maybe some kids are maybe giving what we call just not reflecting accurately, maybe going the easy way out. We can see many of these kids divide the numerator by the denominator, spelling error, but I'm not worried about that. Because they can do that, I'm thinking that they could also do the level 2. Because that's really just taking a percent, converting it into a fraction, then simplifying it. So if they can do this, they're going to be able to do this. It's just maybe they didn't want to push themselves. But that's what we're going to try to start doing. For chapter 6, I did it for every single lesson. For chapter 7, that has 12 lessons, and it's geometry. It's going to be kind of tough to fashion questions without adding pictures. But I'm going to continue to do this for chapter 7. You may not see for every lesson. So when you look at Gradebook Wizard, you see Google Form, lesson 6.1 or something like that. That's what this is a reflection of. Them answering the questions on the Google Form or a question and indicating what they feel their current level of understanding is. And I can use this data right here then to create or to develop maybe some differentiation in the next class period, seeing that, hey, a lot of us are at level 2, we're not ready to progress. Or, hey, a lot of us at level 3, we're doing great, I don't really need to touch up. Or I see some kids are at level 3, some are at level 2. Let's break up and continue to enrich the people who are at level 3 so we can give them that level 4. And let's continue to work with those level 2 to get them to level 3. Hope this makes sense. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to contact me. Take care. Bye.